Hey there, and welcome back to Jaraci Cup 2. Getting continued now with more plays from Shrike. Our boy Maze here, in the blue. Well, this is also blue. It's kind of like teal, you know. But he's going to be playing against DrDooms2011, not to be confused with DrDooms0210 or 0212. Those two are fakers. Map going to be the Shallows. This would be Shrike's pick. He's also picked random, by the way. DrDooms going to play Coalition. I'm hoping from this replay to see some like really solid plays from Shrike. That's what I really want to see above anything else. Because he's kind of been a little bit silly with the other matches, but I have a feeling he might not take this one terribly seriously either. Jeez, I can't switch to the production tab. Looks like he rolls Coalition. I mean, I guess I saw that in the replay selection tab, but yeah, that is going to be the faction roll here for Shrike, who was, of course, playing as the random. The random. That makes him sound like some really big nefarious entity. We're having a basement retirement coming out here from DrDooms, as he's also got two RU salvagers very early here, so we'll see where that's headed. That usually is the sign that some kind of a tech choice coming out, going to be like some sort of a tech rush. Always a fun prospect. We'll see if that's what he does indeed end up going for. Did we cast a game of his already? Hold up, I'm not actually remembering right now. Doesn't look like we have, no. Whoa. Got a little zoomed out there. Sorry to disorient you folks. You know, you disorient, you know, I never disorient people in my casts, you know what I mean? I'm always very stable, and you can always tell exactly what's going on. Looks like it is going to be Sport Cruiser first by Shrike, going 8 up as well. It is the Shallows. That's definitely what I would recommend, so I'm very happy to see that. Off to a good start at Shrike. Railfab comes first here for DrDooms. He's going to start making some LAVs. Very aggressive play there. So it is going to be a bit of a tech rush, but it's not AAVs. This is something we don't usually see. I think it tends to have a pretty bad track record, but we'll see what he's able to do with it. Let's just get real cinematic here, you know, as we, you know, move out into the middle of the map here. Well, one thing that's unfortunate is once you hit right click, like the camera freezes, so you can't get like these nice like flybys where then suddenly the camera starts rotating. You can't do that, unfortunately. Otherwise you could throw it and then like start spinning. You could become a real DOK replay pro, but unfortunately not going to be. AV Fab comes out for Shrike early here. I mean, the idea sounds pretty sound, I guess I would say, although this definitely does not look very sound. I see he's making a Sport Cruiser. Yeah, but you definitely want to wait until it's actually done to move your carrier out. The idea sounds pretty sound here. A lot of players go for AAV first, so you get the railguns, and then you're able to do a thing, you know, like your rails count to the AVs, and you have LAVs to match the LAV count. Sorry about that. Turns out, though, how do I say? Railguns are just so fragile, and they don't have that smoke ability like the AAV does. So it's a lot more likely that your unit is going to get caught out than theirs is, you know what I mean? It's just very easy to lose them. The other problem here is that he's on one base, right? And Railfab is more expensive too, right? So it's more likely you'd be on one base doing this tech, and then you're obviously going to be behind, so you probably won't win the LAV spam fight either. So, I get the idea behind it, it just doesn't usually work. So, those are my thoughts on the matter. Shrike feeling a little frozen here. He doesn't want to move out, obviously, because the LAVs are still on the field, but once these AAVs pop out, I imagine he'll move that base runner out. Yeah, so the Sport Cruiser's done here for DrDooms. Gonna start filling up that third base location. No rails getting produced as well. Again, I usually would say that's a mistake. You know, you want to be making units, right? So. I noticed he doesn't use eco rally points either. He might not know. You can set 2 rally points, you know, like if you look at Shrike's carrier here. All of his salvagers are going to come out facing there, and then all of his military units are going to come out on that rally point. Support cruisers count as like the military units though, so you do have to watch out for that. Sometimes they'll go on a little bit of a walkabout, but you know, it's very useful. It makes things a lot easier to micro back at home because you're not worried about, you know, like, okay, where are my salvagers actually going when I produce them and stuff. And it's going to be battle cruisers very early. This is something you could never get away with in vanilla, really. Still tricky to pull off in the mod, but we have seen it used to great effect by like Descara and stuff, but it's usually more of a rush. This is kind of like, it's just his mid-tier unit, which is really interesting. I have a feeling that'll work, but I guess we'll have to see. Depends, I guess, how many rails his opponent chooses to make before he gets out there. Looks like that probe gonna get sniped, by the way. No, he's actually gonna get out. That's kind of amazing. Amazing, get it? Because he's Shrike. Anyway, Battlecruiser Fab about 60 seconds out. I really would like to see Shrike making a support cruiser then, because he's gonna have to vacate, probably. I mean, I guess he doesn't have to, but the thing is, with battlecruisers being so slow, usually the way that we do it is that the carrier drives out, plops him out on the front line, and then he drives back. Although, kind of think of it, the carrier is only 53, right? So that's actually, like, almost as fast as the battlecruiser, but still, the principle tends to apply anyway. You know, you get him to pop out kind of like right in front of your opponent. Plus, I think having a carrier with the battlecruisers just already makes a bit of a nicer, you know, more well-rounded army, so... DrDooms is going to start making some railguns here. That's nice for him. A miss. Fatal miss. Thing is, this AV just kind of waltzed into the main base here. And I don't know how fast he's going to kill a salve over there, although he will kill it eventually, but... yeah, we got a lot of support cruiser damage coming out now, so... This guy here, he should also be going after the support cruiser, but it's not the biggest deal, I guess. He is still doing damage in that his opponent has to react to it. Yeah, there you go, he's found the support cruiser target, that's good. But this one's kind of more of an issue because he's already been targeting it. These LAV's gonna try to do something about it, that's not gonna work, obviously. Yeah, Shrike just being turbo annoying here. Oh, look at that, a support cruiser. Hey, look at that. Although I think he's just gonna fill up his third base there. Which is fair too, right? I mean, like, that's obviously a good thing to do. Probably if I were him, I'd go rail fab and then get the carrier production upgrade so that you can start making things like, well, these battle cruisers are on the way. It looks like we're gonna actually see a support cruiser kill here, which is kind of egregious in some respects. I mean, that probably shouldn't have gone down. But those two in the smoke from the other AV, it's like beautiful. Support cruiser will go down for DrDooms. And there's not, well, you know, there is actually, I guess, an answer to these double battle cruisers that's out on the field, but it's not going to be an easy one. Is the music off? Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh. I was wondering, I felt like something was missing. Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but if you hit the plus equals button, you toggle the music. You can turn it off. Fun facts about DOK. Things you never knew. Like, did you know you can turn off a support cruiser's refinery mode by hitting C? It's the famous press C to lose, except that's the thing, it's not very famous, nobody knows about it, so whenever it happens, people are like, what the heck, my support cruisers are broken. Yeah, just hit C if that happens, and they will not be broken anymore. This guy just still flying around. No one there shooting down, so he can do whatever he wants. The thing is, this is actually a lot of railguns. That was not the case earlier, but jeez. This is kind of the idea of like the battlecruiser party bus, right? Is that you pop out with like three battlecruisers. You usually do it with 3 of them, like right on the front line. So like they'd be like right here or something. And now you're in range, so you just like pop them out. You know what I mean? And I don't know. This many railguns would be hard to kill with battlecruisers even close up, but yeah, you can see the damage there, right? Shrike playing a little loose with these battle cruisers here, but he is going to get rewarded for it, looks like. Well, maybe he will be punished. Ah, see how he tries to rotate there? I don't know if there's a way to get around it, but in short distances, if you give him a V move facing the direction he's already facing, he'll just back up. He won't like turn around. That's why Company of Heroes has got a command, actually, U, which moves units in reverse, which is really cool, I think. That's something that DOK could definitely benefit from. Looks like LAV spam gonna be the anti-railgun choice here for Shrike. He's also got strike fighters, you can see they're on the queue here. That would be really good as well. We don't see any anti-air here for DrDooms. Still on 2 base, by the way. He is definitely falling behind in terms of macro there. Although this battlecruiser a little bit in duress. He's gonna pop the smoke, looks like. That's a fair move. Here come the LAVs though, they found a really nice angle. We do have armor 3 though, so these LAVs not going to be doing terribly much damage, but still going to be pretty, well, okay, wow, yeah. This is one thing A-Game tried to address, you know, in the patch, is that sometimes StrikeCraft get on rails and it's like they didn't do anything. But yeah, you can definitely see they're doing things now. That's crazy. You gotta be a lot more careful with railguns while you play patch. I love this railgun over here, by the way. I'm not even sure why I love it, but I do. I love the fact you can shoot through ground too. I think that's just awesome. Well, whoa, sorry about that. Air is ready. I mean, he can use it if he wants to. Might even be able to kill the carrier if he does. Because all the rails are going to go down, he can dump a lot of damage in the carrier anyway. Yeah, I think he just launches air and he should kill off the carrier right here, but he's not doing it, which is a little unfortunate. He might honestly just do it anyway. Might not even need it. Smoke ability is ready on both of these battlecruisers, by the way, so that's always nice. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, battlecruisers do a lot of damage. This is actually less than in vanilla, but with a higher fire rate, I think? Or maybe it's just straight up less, but the unit is a bit easier to get to. Can't exactly remember, I'd have to check the change logs, but I mean, they are a carrier maulers. Not to mention the fact that the carriers all have got their health a little bit nerfed too, so it's not like the damage nerf to the battlecruiser is really being too felt, I guess, against those carriers. Shrike to take the victory with his battlecruisers, so I guess it worked out for him. Fun unit to see, so I'm not going to complain. I like them. Don't often see battlecruisers in a match, but A-Game has used them with surprising effect against me whenever I play Con F. It's like, oh gosh, what do I do about this? You know, like they're difficult to deal with. Kind of like choking units in some respect, you know what I mean? Like if they get up to your base, you're dead, you know? So looks like game 2, Shrike opting to play as Con F, not as random. He would have picked faction 2nd this time? I'm yawning again. I'm sorry, I didn't really sleep terribly much last night for dumb reasons. So I am pretty tired. This is the only one I'm going to cast today. Map going to be Firebase Krill, probably my favorite map. I think I've mentioned that a couple times. Either this one or Tauren Crater. I like them both quite a lot. Can I get both carriers in here? Ooh. That's a nice angle. That's pretty cool looking. Anyway. Firebase Krill, both open but also structured. You know what I mean? It's got pretty big, you know, lines of sight and whatever, but it does have like these big high ground positions, the firebase in the middle, so there's pretty defined line of sight blockers and stuff, despite the map being pretty, you know, like open, generally speaking. So it's kind of a cool map, pretty big. This is actually, I think, maybe was meant to be a 4-player map, I'm not sure, but at any rate, it does have a 4-player mode on it, so yeah, it's quite large. Whoops. That's something I like too, because I often will do these like ninja production cruiser things, you know, and this map really fits well with that. I can have one come in from there, like come up from there, something like that. And people don't often see them coming. Whereas on a map like Tauren Crater, let's say, there's usually like, there's one of 3 paths that I'm going to take to get there. There's a little bit of variance as you go through the middle of the crater, but I mean, it's generally pretty easy to see. It's pretty transparent, like where I'm coming from. So that's one thing I really like about this map. There's also a lot of space behind the base, which is always good for the attacker, I would say. I think it's the same on both sides. Yeah. Which is important. Not all of the DOK maps are symmetrical like that. Like on Tauren Crater, one of the bases has got like a lot of space behind it, and the other one doesn't. I've always kind of been annoyed by that. I feel like symmetricality is like, doesn't have to be exactly symmetrical, but it's very important in multiplayer games. Otherwise, you know, you can definitely say, yeah, this side or this side has like a distinct advantage in some way. It's not good. Like, yeah, there's actually like a fake dune in Firebase Krill 2, I think. One that like can give high ground advantage, but it doesn't block line of sight for some reason. It's either this one or it's this one, but I don't think... Oh, there isn't one there. Oh, no, there is. It's right here. Yeah, so it's either this one right here or this one right here. I think it's this one right here. I'm not sure, though. But, yeah, you can just shoot straight through it. It's like, what the heck? You just kind of have to, like, get used to that, I guess. Oh, Shrike, you bad man. Donk. Ouch. Ouchie mama. Oof. That's gotta hurt. Very low effort, too, you know, he's just kind of like, oh, I'll make a couple blast drones, head in there, see what I can get. Oh, look at that! Donk. So, gonna be happy with that pickup for sure. Dr. Dooms, meanwhile, moving out across the map, potentially? I'm not sure exactly what he's going for. No, looks like he'll stop. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage! We got Refinery Mode coming out. Really good choice here from Shrike. If you're ahead, stay ahead, you know what I mean? That's a good way to do it. Artifact getting extracted too, it's good to see, and we have a couple sand skimmers coming out on the field. Looks like pretty standard stuff. Like to see him get a second production cruiser once he's got a bit of time. Well, I mean, he's got a bit of time, doesn't he? Just needs to build up a couple resources for it, but I think he's going to, otherwise he'd probably be making assault ships already. That's good to see too. We'll just have to wait and see. 600's magic number. Interceptor fabrication. Well, that's a fair choice too. That's a fair choice too. Although, actually, interceptor fabrication even further skews it for me toward getting a production cruiser, because if your carrier's making the air units, it can't be making the production cruiser. So you've kind of, it's kind of like getting refiner mode before fleet cap 45. There's a big window where you're just kind of not able to make more units. You know, there's a big window where you're not able to make that production cruiser, which would allow you to expand onto your base. So getting interceptor fabrication at a bad timing can really, I think, contribute to a bad economy. By the way, Dr. Doom's committing eco-suicide here once again. I've mentioned this before, but you have to have support cruisers. You can't do stuff like this. It doesn't work. Many have tried, few have succeeded. And by few, I mean none, I believe. Especially against a player of Shrike's caliber. Doesn't seem terribly likely. We got some sand skimmers trying to chew away at a salvager over here. They did manage to kill one already, mind you. But the big thing also is that they've denied a bit of mining time here, pushed them off the base there. Good stuff here, and we see two more blast drones. I don't like where that's headed. Interceptors on the queue now for Shrike. Have you noticed if you queue up a bunch of them, it starts there, it queues up for them, but if you cancel the one in like the back, it'll cancel that guy. I don't know. It's a mystery, man. It's one of these mysteries of DOK. Hold up, I have the thing for this, you know. Where is it? There we go. Yes. Mysteries of DOK. I need to actually, like, get just a folder. Actually, I have a folder for this kind of stuff, but I don't have that in it. I have a music storage folder, and then it has a folder inside of it called util, for, like, utility. That's where I've got, like, for instance, this sound file. If I can find it real quick. I know there's, like, a game going on, but I'm not terribly invested in it, to be honest.
Oh, yes!
That's a good sound effect. Scoreline is 2-0, by the way. Comfortable lead there for Shrike. A lot of damage being done by these sand skimmers. Let's check the units loss tab here. It's like pretty heavily skewed already into Shrike's favor, but not only that, but a lot of those are salvager kills, which are worth like double or whatever. So, things are looking good. Things are looking real. Oh, gosh. Is he gonna go full wing and try to like kill the carrier with it? Because that'd be pretty funny, to be honest. In that case, I might want to just like speed up a little bit because it's gonna. Whoa! It's gonna take some time. Gonna want to get afterburner too, by the way. That's good tech for this. Probably want us to tech precision bomber as well and get those out because I don't think full wing will actually kill a carrier in the patch, but I don't know. Hiccups. Anyway, a little bit of fast forward never hurt anybody. Yeah, afterburner's on the way and precision bomber. Look at that. It's like I'm actually good at this game. Base runner picks up another artifact there. Always nice to see he's keeping up that pressure there. You're going to want to continue making these interceptors, I imagine. But bomber fab is done now. And bomber's going to be on the queue already. Okay, that's good. I'd also just get the recharge ability and launch them out now. Like, you don't need to hide it, really, because you know your opponent doesn't really have any anti-air over there. But you could also just keep making air units. I think it's gonna be fine too. Uh-oh. Da-da. 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 Pardon the sudden interruption. But I'm back. Yeah. I left in the perfect timing, didn't I? Blastron's gonna claim another couple victims over there, so yeah. Painful. Shrike finding a lot of successes with Blastrons this game. He's up to 3 artifacts now. And I guess we're really just kind of waiting for the launch. I imagine he's got enough to kill this carrier now, already in the hangar. He might go for a little bit more before he goes, though. Continue with the fast forward here. A couple of assault railguns here. No, wait, this is... yeah, Coalition don't build that unit. A couple of railguns here. That's nice. Kind of what he needs to do with assault ships, but I mean... What he needs right now, he's not going to get. I guess that's what I'm thinking. Ammo capacity upgrade is on the way here. These LAVs might be able to scout the air attack, but it's not like they're going to do anything about it. Ints are in the hood. That's actually a lot of railguns as well. You know, I gotta say, Dr. Dooms, he really knows how to mask railguns, apparently. We saw him do that a couple times before. I just have to use the sound clip again. So Shrike is gonna be coming in here with the interceptors and gonna be like,
Oh yes!
as he takes out this carrier. I love it so much. And the bombers should finish this off. Bombers actually have a hidden damage debuff to carriers in vanilla, but A-Game removed that in the patch because hidden buffs are not good. So they do indeed do full damage against the carrier, albeit, you know, minus 30 for the armor. And that carrier actually managing to survive there. That's kind of curious. Yeah, I figured that wing of fighters would just kill it outright, but no, I guess not. Smoke could be used here. Oh, smoke should be used here. Oh, that was pretty close. If those things were about to shoot, and there's so many of them, I think they would have killed it in one hit. There's like 3,500 health. No, they wouldn't have killed it in one hit, but it would have been pretty close. Well, this last launch here should finish off the carrier. We only have 900 health on that thing. He does power up the armor to his credit, so he knows what he's doing, but... Support cruiser comes out too. Quick, heal the carrier before it's too late! But it is going to go down. And that'll be Shrike taking the series pretty handily 2-0. I think that's all the expected result for all of us, but Dr. Dooms did not make a fool of himself. I like that, you know what I mean? Looks like he's fairly competent. Definitely just needs more practice, but I liked his play there. Definitely what I would take away from this game, though, you do need to have support cruisers on these bases. You can't mine without support cruisers. It doesn't work. Frosty has shown that you can actually technically do it if you make 8 salvagers and you're willing to micro to death, but other than that, there's no way. Also, just note, this game lasted exactly 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Homeworld 3 confirmed. Wait, it already was.